Hello, welcome to the Web3 Enabler Real World Blockchain Podcast. I'm here with Antonio Brasse, CEO and co-founder of BlockQuake. Thank you for joining us, Antonio.
Thank you for having me.
So,
Mhm.
how has your past experience as an auditor helped with your work as a crypto executive? What's involved in running an exchange that is regulatory driven?
So from my perspective, um, running a crypto exchange company that actually is trying to abide by laws and focus on customer protection, you need to have like that perspective, that viewpoint, to be able to do that. And it so happens my particular background, it is very regulatory heavy. And regulatory risk is probably the number one risk within the world of crypto. And prior to jumping into the wild, wild west of the crypto world, I did work in financial services for like a good decade, 15 years, where I worked in internal audit, worked on a lot of audit compliance, regulatory risk management type work. So it's very top of mind, touching everything from operations to technology audits to fraud investigations. So everything that I've been involved in was always very focused around, customer protection and complying with different regulations, domestic and abroad. So we took a lot of that same mindset um, from, what my team has done in financial services, brought that over to the world of crypto, and thought about, hey, what can we put into place that customers are looking for, both from a product perspective as well as what can be in place to protect them, right? Here we are years later, we still see cybersecurity incidents, exchanges being hacked, customers losing their funds, um, fragmented liquidity still, a lot of things still costing a lot of money in crypto, and we're here to address a lot of that stuff. So I think it comes back to mindset, just having come from that perspective where we were myself and my team that comes from a similar background. We always did have that focus on consumer protection. So we're just translating that over.
Very good. Yeah, it should always be everything regarding security and compliance should always be really integrated into the full development cycle, into the full audit, into the full operational cycle. It should never be an afterthought. And it's good to have the focus on that. And it's definitely good to put that in your messaging early on. Um, because of, yeah, again, customer service, consumer protection, and just users feeling comfortable from the get-go,
Yeah,
especially when there's just so much in the news that could be confusing to the average person.
yeah, and I think what we're seeing too is that, particularly in technology, there's often that mindset of like, let's like just build quick, let's get it out there, let's break things and figure out what's wrong that way. So, a lot of particularly in the Web3 blockchain space, a lot of developers may not be as seasoned or come from, traditional development where like the right structures are in place to make sure that testing is happening before products go on live and sufficient testing to make sure certain aspects work. And, I could appreciate like the whole move fast and break things mentality. However, when we're dealing with the world of crypto, we're dealing with financial services, and now, we're dealing with people's money, like with their livelihood. Aside from regulations that might apply when it comes to financial services, like we are dealing with people's money every day, and we do owe that level of responsibility to them to make sure, bare minimum controls are in place before launching something into the public.
Well said. Well said. Yeah, it's paramount. And Yeah, I mean, and the implementation and testing of controls when it comes to financial regulatory compliance are also just completely differently structured than from technical controls. So, from what I understand, wiping out a financial system is not something that can be kind of sandboxed like a penetration test. Um, Correct me if I'm wrong, but the testing, um, the adversarial testing component is not as applicable, right?
Yeah, yeah, I guess it would be different. It depends on the situation. Like, for example, you would have to go into a live environment at some point, but you can still do that safely, right? Like, you can not announce it to the world that you're live yet, but actually have a live product. And I've done that with crypto exchange testing where, like, it's live, but the world doesn't know yet. So everything's running live, and you're actually able to go in and test the live KYC flow, test the ability to trade and making sure proper controls are in place. Basic stuff like, hey, you can't purchase more than your account balance, right? Like very basic stuff like that. And I've been able to see those type of controls work and not work, and we're able to like go back and have that fixed because it was just a smaller like testing team that was testing the live environment. So yeah, you definitely want to test as much as possible like prior to production, but even when you push into production, like it could be like a beta, right? Where or whatever we're calling it, where it's not, you're not taking on public consumers right away, but like you're live and you're able to test those controls.
Right, right. Because yeah, definitely a lot that goes into it and having the proper pipeline. I think sometimes smaller kind of one-off crypto projects, it's harder for them to grasp that. But obviously we both pride ourselves in being more corporate and more um, compliant than that. And we have compliance integrations for this reasons as well, and with third party vendors who have been thoroughly vetted. So great.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
so talking about value, can you talk a little bit about Quakey and what it means to be the only utility based meme coin?
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess I'll take a step back so people understand what that is. So Quakey is a meme coin that's out there. And the way it came into existence was some of the New York City meme coin community that we actually know in real life. Some of the folks on my team at BlockQuake, we know some of these folks, and they decided to create a meme coin that memes us, uh, meaning BlockQuake. So uh, backstory with our name, like it's pronounced BlockQuake, blockchain earthquake, right? That was how we came up with the name, but folks often mispronounce it and they say block quack often, like quack like a duck. So folks within the meme coin community that knew us, they themselves often made that mistake, and they decided to run with that meme and create a meme coin, kind of just memeing how people mispronounce our name. Came up with a whole duck image and everything, and um, part of their support for BlockQuake is as they're building this coin, community members that actually own part of the supply. They bought the supply, so like nobody sits on free supply. They will be donating part of that supply to help fund BlockQuake to make everything kind of come to life and support that. And they saw synergy there because we're very focused on customer protection and fixing a lot of the problems that are still existent in the world of crypto exchanges. And they themselves, they wanted to fix a lot of the issues that they saw in meme coins. A lot of the meme coins out there are scams. and rug pulls and all that stuff. And they wanted to build a meme coin that actually had use cases. So the way they're addressing that is through their relationships and partnerships that they already have. They're looking to leverage Quakey as a token that can be used within video game ecosystems, NFTs, as well as in real life events. So a lot of the folks within the New York City community that are into crypto meme coins, they have a lot of relationships with a lot of the top venues that are in New York City, such as the DL and PhD Rooftop at the Dream Hotel, which both you and I have probably been to. And they're they are looking to create relationships that when events are run, they incentivize folks to actually use Quakey as a ticket purchasing mechanism. So I love that idea because they're going into pre-existing event infrastructure where there are tickets that are being bought no matter what. And then they're just plugging into that and creating incentives for people to actually use the token to buy their ticket, whether that's like discounted ticket price or a VIP experience or the inclusion of like a free house drink or whatever it might be. So I love that aspect. And then on our end, because of the support they're giving us regarding donating funding to us, we're looking to add further utility once the crypto exchange is launched, where Quakey holders will be able to get trading fee discounts. And we're talking through additional perks as well. So yeah, that's the backstory on Quakey. And one of the other big things is that people are putting their face out there. So a lot of the folks that are in that community, they don't hide their face like most meme coin people do. They have their names out there. They're often doing Twitter X spaces all the time. They're doing in real live events. So like they're always throwing a party practically every week where they get people from the community out to, any venue in Queens or Manhattan where they're just getting people together, connected, and um, just hanging out in real life. So these are things we don't see within the meme coin space.
Well said, well said. Yeah, just that the personalities behind it. You definitely see that discrepancy in the different areas of crypto. But yeah, I definitely automatically, prior to meeting you, associated with the meme coin community with those monikers.
Yeah.
Um, so super interesting to know about that. And you run a lot of events as well, right?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, thank you for that segue. I do, I do get involved in a lot of events. I either help organize or I just participate. I know, like we met at a XRP related event, and yeah, I love to go to crypto events. I love XRP, and some of the folks that were kind of in the same room, um, like that night that we met, I'm involved in a number of things with them. So in addition to like Quakey having the Quakey community having events, I'm also involved in a lot of like leadership training stuff where a lot of folks I know will put together charity fundraising events. So usually every couple of months, part of that where I'm helping to plan a charity event with a particular group of folks supporting a charity that they're looking to support. And tonight we happen to have one. When people do listen to this or watch this, January 21st, 2025, um, there will be an event. There's an event I'm going to tonight where it'll be out in Long Island City, and it's for a cause. Um, and people buy their ticket, buy food, drinks, and just have a good time. And a lot of folks from the Quakey community will be involved in that too, whether they're DJing, providing entertainment, other services. So definitely, I try to always like put all those things together. Like networking plus like for a cause, and also like supporting the crypto space at the same time. Like these are things we can constantly always do together. So like, we're hitting on all cylinders, and like doubling up, tripling up on what an event can mean.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Yeah, I mean, and just, the way you phrase that last bit in of itself is just says a lot. It's a lot about it is a lot of it is about making something digital have meaning to various stakeholder groups. And when you can combine those, that's where you're really innovating the space. So for example, our focus on bridging the gap between the crypto natives and the enterprise world, being able to bridge those gaps using crypto as a means is, I think, where the future is. And I know that it brings me joy being able to create that as well. So, and yeah, community is a big part of that. Um, and community is a very scientific and measurable component of a lot of crypto. So, for example, how voting takes place too. So, yeah, I mean, having that holistic, integrated approach is, I think, just so important.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but it's exciting times, right? Like there's a lot going on. We're probably entering a bull market again. Um, Inauguration was just yesterday, with a new incoming administration that is crypto friendly. I know everyone's got different political views, but politics aside, like the incoming administration will be great news for crypto. So for those of us in the space, like there's a lot to look forward to. Um, I mean, as you know, like we're in the development phase still with our crypto exchange. We're still going through the process of raising capital. A lot of our potential investors we're speaking to, a lot of them were kind of just, they wanted to wait till post inauguration to revisit conversation. So I think that, um, within the space overall, we're going to see a lot of like capital inflow, into our industry, which is great news. I know we hear some people talking about this administration is going to try to pass zero taxes on crypto. I don't know if that's going to happen. I would love that. That would be great. Um, but whatever happens is going to be better than the past.
Very true. Yeah, I'm bullish about this bull market, if you
Yeah,
will. So, and not to mention there was that Trump meme coin.
yeah. I don't know what to think of that, but
Definitely
it
not
did.
nearly as utility based.
Yeah, yeah. I'd if there was one good thing I guess I'd say about it is like it's getting more people looking at the markets. But yeah, my overall thing to people, I got asked this last night on a Twitter X space about like celebrity meme coins overall. And I'll just like most are most are not really gonna go anywhere in the long run. So I just tell folks like stay away from celebrity coins, period. And like focus on coins that have real communities behind them, whether that's, meme coins that have that, altcoins that have that. I kind of swing back to the fact that, we met at an XRP event. They've got a massive community globally, like, projects like that, where, there are people in the community looking to build up utility and use cases for projects.
Oh yeah, there's some great things. I've seen what a firewall, some forensics tooling, so many great things. And we're building on the XRPL as well. But being able to connect with people building other amazing projects and businesses, it's just so great.
Yeah, and
Right.
yeah, it's like I know we've talked privately as well that there's things that we want to do with XRP and XRPL, once we're closer to launching the exchange. So, I'm excited that hopefully some of this funding comes through soon, and we can wrap this stuff up, get the exchange launched, and then actually do some of the things we want to do with XRPL, Avalanche, a number of other projects out there where we've spoken to their corporate teams around some stuff we could work on. So, yeah, and then I know we didn't touch on it yet, but yeah, it's like on the exchange side, there's things we're addressing that no one else is. We'll be the only truly transparent crypto exchange actually being audited to prove that all customer funds are present. Nobody's doing that. On the cybersecurity side, there's a lot of things we'll be doing on the front and back end, and we'll have like cybersecurity firms come in and actually audit us, and we'll publish that report publicly. We don't see that with any of the top crypto exchanges. We don't see these type of transparency audits or cyber reviews being issued by them. They'll make statements, hey, trust us, all your funds are there. Trust us, our security's top notch, but no one's actually proving it.
That's great. That's really great because yeah, I mean, you don't see that on the corporate side. The closest is on the, more open source tooling side or so the dev tools or the dependencies that we might use are more likely to have their audits public. But I think that, especially in the crypto space, having the corporate audit reports transparent is just so innovative. And I think that's something that, ideally should already be done by other companies, but is not so great for yeah, I mean, so
And it's
I'm
definitely
glad to
one
see
of the
that
things
you're
we're promoting. I didn't actually mention this earlier. Our team is also working on writing a crypto bill for New York State that is focused on customer protection. So we currently have that in draft. We're out there acquiring academic opinions on it. And that is definitely one of the parts that we've mentioned in the draft bill that we're writing around having any type of centralized institution that is dealing in crypto on behalf of customers. Hey, you're going to be required to actually have your books audited. So you're evidencing that everyone's funds are actually there and you're not just saying so and actually, taking it and misusing it or misappropriating it.
really, really good.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I've talked to some of the vendors that have seen under the hood of some of the largest exchanges and like I'm not going to mention names but they've told me that some of the largest exchanges are missing huge amounts of customer funds. That's why like none of them are ever going to do an audit if they don't have to, because like they don't want to disclose that they're missing 10-20%, whatever it might be, of customer funds.
major, majorly concerning. Yeah, really great to see something being done about that because it's terrifying. It's absolutely
Yeah,
terrifying. Whenever you don't see there's always a reason, and it's always terrifying.
I am
So,
so glad you said that, like, because people have often asked me, even before I had those conversations with insiders, um, I knew, like, in my gut, things were not right because, like, my risk management background. If if someone's unwilling to be transparent, there's a reason, Uh, because there's probably something that's awry, and it's just common sense, and I tell people like when you're looking at the anything in the world of crypto, just like apply your basic common sense. Like what would you expect in like regular life? If you're not seeing someone do it, ask a lot of questions.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I like how you compare it to that, regular life, as you would say, because it's just, yeah, the parallel is there. It's really not much different in a lot of ways, and there's something to be said about it. And I think this isn't spoken about or discussed nearly enough. So, I mean, definitely more in the security space in general than anywhere else, but nonetheless, um,
Yeah.
still never enough discussion around that.
Yeah, there's so many, like I feel like there's so many things we could talk about. Like back in the day, you had the Quadriga thing up in Canada. where like that one person had access to all the wallets. We supposedly he's dead or not, who knows? Um, and all $180 million lost. That's something that uh, like we talk about where one person shouldn't have access to all the crypto. There should be multiple layers of approval that are required, at least two to three to process transactions out. Like a lot of these are very typical standard financial services controls for financial systems. And, it works. So we really should be applying a lot of those things, with a lot of like crypto products that are out there as well.
Oh, certainly, certainly, so important. So, thank you so much for joining
Yeah,
us. It was great having
absolutely.
you,
Thank you.
and yeah, have a great event.
All right, thank you so much.
Of course. Okay.
All right.